welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittney Bundles, and today's video is going to be going over some of the common assumptions that new business owners have. And I'm also going to be going over some of the assumptions that I had as a new business owner as well. So if you are interested, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please make sure that you are subscribed, and let's get right into this video. So I was prompted to make this video because I love sharing what I know, and I love kind of going over things that I've learned from others. And so on a daily, I speak to a lot of different business owners that are all in different parts of their business. Some people are just starting, some people have been in business for years. Some people have, started their business, taken a break, and now they're ready to get back in. So no matter what area you are in your business, I think this video is going to be beneficial because it's going to be going over some of the things that a lot of us, think when we start businesses, and some of the things that are true and some of the things that aren't true. Now, when I make this video, I just want to, put a disclosure out there that everyone's business journey and experience is different. So these are some of the assumptions that I put together that I had and that I also heard from other business owners that I speak with. And I'm going to be just kind of giving my thought on each topic. Now, again, yours may be completely different. This is not a blanket assumption log for all businesses. But like I mentioned, this is just, some of the assumptions that I've heard and some of the assumptions that I thought as well when I first started my business. So if you all are new to the channel, I do own a hair business by the name of badchickhair.com. We have hair extensions and different tools and options available to help people get started with their online businesses. So if you are interested, feel free to take a look at the website. The links are always listed below. So the first assumption that I'm going to go over is family and friend support. I put this on the top of my list because this is the most common assumption that I hear from a lot of different people daily. Even me, when I first started my business, you assume, I don't know why, and I don't even want to say you, but a lot of us assume that family and friends are going to support our business, meaning they're going to have the first, they're going to place the first order. They're going to be the ones liking all of our posts on social media. They're going to be the ones sharing all of our posts, and they're going to be the one spreading, the word about our business. And although I'm not going to say that it doesn't happen, I am going to say that it is pretty common for the opposite to happen, meaning that the people that you thought were going to support you oftentimes don't. And that can be for, a number of reasons. And so I've made lots of videos on this channel about the lack of support because it's a very touchy subject, and it's a very, it's a very depressing, type of point to be in your life to some. Some people really, really get down. I'm even guilty of being depressed and feeling like I was just alone in business, and then I was being let down because I didn't have support of those that I anticipated having support from. And I also made videos going over how you can support people that are in business that you care about, because you don't necessarily have to just buy. That's not the only way that you can support. But I think when we first get our feet wet in the business, when we first get everything up and running, we kind of anticipate others to have that same level of happiness for us that we have, that we've either showed them in the past or that we have for ourselves. I think the journey of an entrepreneur is one that a lot of people won't relate to and won't understand. There's so many things that go into operating and running your own business. And it can look to others that it's just easy, that you just wake up, you got a website, you're getting orders, that's it. But there's so many things that go on the back end, especially if you have a business. I'm sure you can relate, that you have to do. There's so many different marketing tactics. There's so many different relationships that you'll make. There's so many different ideas that you have to bring to your platform to even remain relevant. And so it's a constant daily effort that you put into your business to make it grow. And then by the time you finally get everything ready to launch, you get your website up and running, you get your products ready, and you get your pricing set, and you get your social medias established, and you're like, okay, yes, now I'm going to actually start getting orders, and you kind of look back and you're like, hey, what about you? You said you were going to support me. Hey, what about you? You said you were going to support me. And you start looking like that, and you start looking around and saying, hey, where's all the support that I was told I would have once I started my business? And so that can start to be depressing. So I think a huge assumption that we all have is that the people that said they would support us, or the people that we assumed would support us, we often find out that that's not the case. However, Like I said, I do have videos on how to kind of combat that. So take a look at my channel and look at some of the videos that I created, because there still is light at the end of the tunnel. You still can be very successful without the support of your family, your friends, or even, your acquaintances. You can be very successful based on, your brand and the people that you connect with that really see the value in what you're offering. And unfortunately, like I mentioned, sometimes the people that are seeing the value and the benefit in your products and services are not the people that are closest to you. So the second assumption that a lot of first-time business owners have is that you're going to get your first order during that first week. So, when we start our business, I know even when I started my business, sometimes you underestimate how much goes into actually running a successful business, actually operating your business. And so, if you're just getting started, you're just getting your feet wet, you may not know. You may say, okay, hey, I got everything ready. Why am I not getting orders? Hey, I'm ready for orders. Where are the orders at, and we have to remind ourselves that it takes time. It takes time for people to build up their confidence in you. It takes time for people to actually believe that you're a reliable company. There's a million companies that start up like all the time. And if you check those companies, a couple months from now or a couple years from now, you'll go back and you'll see half of the websites or half of those businesses are no longer in business, no longer in service. And so when you are starting your business, you have to realize that it's not just about having a website and that's going to automatically get you orders. There's an amount of time that you have to stick in the industry, or that you have to be known or relevant for people to feel comfortable working with you. Not only that, but there's different marketing, there's different advertising that you'll need to do to bring awareness to your brand. If you think about it, the only people that know about your business are your family and friends. And we already touched on the fact that a lot of family and friends will not support. Then you'll have to, consider you're one business in this huge world. It's our job daily to try to bring as many people as we can to our business, to let people know what it is we offer. And so if you think of it in that aspect, then you'll kind of look and say, okay, hey, it's going to take me a little bit of time. It's going to take me some investing. It's going to take me to actually do some things while I'm, operating my business to bring the clientele to me. Like I said, I think a huge assumption, like I said, I can be guilty. I am guilty of all these assumptions when I first started, my business. I had, I was new, so I didn't really know what to expect. But as I grew in business and as I stayed in business, I realized a lot of different things that I thought are not, it's not what it is. And so some people do get orders their first day. Some people do get business their first week. Some people, they don't get orders for their entire first, quarter of business. But it all depends. It all really depends on your business and your marketing and your following and your support. It depends on so many different aspects. But like I said, we can definitely assume that we're going to get an order as soon as we get everything up and running. And that's just not the case the majority of the time. Now, the next assumption that I want to bring up is that we're doing something wrong. And this kind of segues back to what I was just talking about, as far as, we assume that we're going to get our orders like immediately, like that first week, that first day, that first hour. Sometimes we're like, where are the orders? And, if we don't get orders, we start to assume that we're doing things wrong. And although when you are new to any business, there's things that you definitely can learn. There's things that you definitely should learn and that you will learn, but I think off the bat, we automatically start downing ourselves and we're like, hey, I'm not getting an order because the font on this website is too bold. I'm not getting an order because the color on this website isn't really friendly. I'm not getting an order because my pricing, it has to be my pricing. That's why I'm not getting an order. Or I'm not getting an order because I didn't do this or I didn't do that. And like I said, we all can stand to try different things and to learn different things. But I think another misconception that a lot of us have, another assumption is that, if we don't get an order immediately, then it has to be something we're doing wrong. When in reality, a lot of times you can be doing everything completely right. Like I said, there's always room for improvement, no matter who you are or what business you're in. But like I said, sometimes we can be doing everything right and still not get an order because it takes time. The reason I say it takes time is because people have to know about you. You know what I mean? People have to know about you to purchase. Although we eat, breathe, and, speak our business, we have the tendency to think that our business sometimes is bigger than what it may be, because we constantly talk about it. It's our business. And so we're constantly thinking about it. And so we're, you may assume that other people are thinking about it too, or, hey, they already know about my business. Hey, but it's like, even if they may have heard about your business, it's not constantly on their mind. And that's why advertising and promotion and marketing and all of that plays a huge part, because it's like, you want others to constantly be reminded of your business as well. And so it just takes time for people to get used to and in the habit of going to your website, working with you, working with your products and things like that. So, and then on top of that, you also have to show your value, your value and why they should purchase with you. So there's a lot of different aspects that go into that. But another assumption that we do have is that we're doing something wrong. We must have, put the wrong picture on the website. We must have done this. We must have done that. And a lot of times, a lot of us are doing things right. We just have to be patient and give it that time. Give us time to grow. Another assumption that lots of people have is that we're going to grow following very fast. Now, if you're comparing yourself, which a lot of us do, you compare yourself to this business, or you may compare yourself to that business, or you may compare yourself to someone that you watch on YouTube or someone that you work with, or whatever the case may be. And I made a video, I think last year, about, not getting too wrapped up in social media, because it can definitely be damaging when you're all constantly comparing yourself to others. And we have a tendency to compare ourselves to people that are not even where we are at in our journey. So we'll just start our company today, and then we'll compare ourselves with a business that's been running for 10 years. And it's like, that's not even a fair comparison, but that's, those are things that we'll do. Or we'll take someone that has been promoting their business for 3 years straight, and we just started promoting this, this year. So we've been promoting for about 3 months, and they've been promoting for 3 years. And we're like, hey, they have all of these followers and I only have this. We can't do that, because it's not really comparing. And even if you are thinking that you're comparing apples to apples, you really don't know the deep details of anyone's business. How much you're spending on advertising, how much you're spending on marketing, what type of business loans they took out, or you don't really know everything. You know what I mean? How many followers are actually legitimate followers? You don't know. So that's why it's very important not to put too much stress into trying to compare yourself, and just allow your growth to grow. You know what I mean? Like, some people grow really fast on social media. Some people know what hashtags to put down. They take really good quality pictures. They have a lot of support, friends, following. Maybe they even have a following because they are well known on another platform. You never know what the case may be. So I would just say focus on your business. And if you don't grow your followers really, really fast, that's fine. I'd rather have a small amount of people that really support me versus a lot of people that follow me that really don't support me, if that makes sense. So it's not always about the quantity, the amount of people that you see following you, but sometimes it really is about the quality. How many people really are taking interest to what you're posting, what you're doing. And even if you're not getting all of the likes, that doesn't necessarily reflect how much support you actually have, because a lot of people will watch even my videos. I've even had people say, I watched your videos, I forgot to like it though. So even family members. So it doesn't mean that, you can't really tally up the likes and convert that into support, because some people, they just forget, or they don't like anything, but they really do like it. So keep that in mind. Another assumption that a lot of people have is, I think we kind of touched on this, but similar success stories, meaning that, if they hear a success story from one person, we kind of start thinking that it could be our success story. And not saying that it can't. There's a lot of things that you can learn from others. I learn from others. I'm motivated based on other stories and, advice and things like that. So there's nothing wrong with that. But when we get to comparing and actually looking at ourselves in a negative light and downplaying what we've done and downplaying who we are, then that's where, you can start to see some of the unhealthy thinking patterns start. And so, when we first start our business, we can have these assumptions that our story is going to be exactly like the next person's, or our story is going to be exactly like someone we heard on TV, or someone we heard on the radio, or someone that we're following ourselves on social media. But you have to keep in mind, reality, and you have to keep in mind that you never know anyone's full story, because you weren't living that journey. You never know what anyone else had to really go through. And a lot of times, like I mentioned on a lot of videos, what's advertised, what's praised, what's liked the most is hearing success, hearing what I was able to do, how I'm able to run the business. People really don't gravitate toward your downfalls. And so because of that, a lot of times downfalls aren't shown. They aren't really told, because it's like, hey, how are they going to accept this? We know if we tell them good information, they're going to accept this well. But if I tell them the bad, how are they going to accept that? I can give you an example. I remember even when I was feeling myself moving out of my salon, I got, some people that were like, hey, I don't know if I would do that. Hey, I don't. And it's like, I want my channel to be, I want it to be inspiring, you know what I mean? And I want it to touch as many people as possible. And I want people to know that just because you start a business does not guarantee immediate success. Just because you start a business, it doesn't guarantee success at all. You know what I mean? Sometimes you'll start a business and you'll say, you know what, doing this business, I discovered that my passion is really this. So I'm going to go this route. Or doing this business, I decided that it's really not for me. Or doing this business, I decided that this is what I really love. This is what I'm going to commit to. But even though the sales aren't there yet, I still have faith that they will get there because this is my passion. I believe this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So, getting started is the best piece of advice that, anyone could have given me, because it allows you to see firsthand if this is something that you really want to do. It allows you to see the full effects of running a business, not just the, okay, I made money, I bought a new house, I bought a new car, I'm buying all these bags, but really the trials of business too, and the parts that people really don't like to talk about. A lot of businesses file bankruptcy. A lot of businesses close during their first 5 years in business. A lot of businesses have to start over. And I don't want to even use the term start over because you're not really starting from scratch, but a lot of businesses close and then they rebrand themselves and reopen. And that's not even just, in the hair industry, that's not even just online, but that's in the business realm. And so even as a loan officer, I used to work with different business owners constantly, and every business owner had a different story, and every business owner was at a different part in their business. And some business owners needed more financing than others, and some business owners call in looking for lines of credit because they didn't know how they were going to pay their employees. Their business looks great online. If you were just meeting them in person, you would think that they were worth a lot of money. But that's what I'm saying, you never really know what's going on in anyone's business, because a lot of people don't let you in on it. Number one, a lot of people may feel like it's not their business. Number two, a lot of people may feel like, hey, that's just not something that I'm comfortable sharing. So, I just want everyone to stay encouraged, and just remember that your journey is your journey. Really don't compare yourself to anyone else. Just do the best that you can do, learn as much as you can learn, and continue to inspire others by the experiences and the lessons that you learned during your journey. So I just wanted to make this video, like I mentioned, to kind of go over some of the assumptions that we have as business owners. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.